All right, guys, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Drill Long Range the Third, a Marines Disquisition, heard live around the world, and it's one more day in the life of you Marines out there. We know you're hard-hitting guys around the world trying to fight for what you believe in and what I believe in and what we truth seekers believe in, is that is honor and justice for all of us. And we are living in dying proof, ladies and gentlemen, that the Marines out there know what the Constitution means, and the fact that the Constitution stands for one thing: a limitation of power on those civilians that control the government, and it's being abused left and right. And Marines around the United States are standing up, and they've had enough. Just recently, right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, former United States Marines have stood up against the congressmen that are rolling their eyes. And just yesterday, if the two representatives from Washington, D.C. had rolled their eyes one more time, you would have seen a massive riot at basically a meeting of two congressmen bringing forth the reason they went back to Washington and voted for the confirmation of this Latin American that professes to be an honest woman for the Supreme Court justice, and she's racist, biased, opinionated, and she's been overturned 5 times by the court she now sits on. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big-time problem in America, and yet do we have anybody out there willing to stand up? There are a few people out there that are standing up to let you know the full truth, and they're not getting all the truth. They admit it right up front. They get misinformation and report on it, or maybe they get information and it's not the whole truth, and they put it out as the whole truth, but they come to find out after they put it out, well, wait a minute, I'm off $150 million. I'm off $105 billion. Life goes on. There are also rust and mosquitoes, and there always will be, ladies and gentlemen. Life goes on. John McWhorter at Forbes magazine commented just the other day, last year rather, on November the 5th, when he was talking to a bunch of Marines, and then it was posted in Forbes magazine, quote, "There are also rust and mosquitoes, and there always will be. Life goes on." The rest of the commentary that he made to these officers and enlisted personnel at Marine Security Guard School on November the 5th, 2008 was that in battle, you fight and die for honor and justice and truth. But life goes on. Your memory will be with us forever. You guard our embassies around the world so we can simulate and bring forth the message of democracy and representative republicanism around the world. That was to the Marine Security Guards. With that, we have people out there like Bob Chapman, an honest man who's been out here fighting the system, putting forth the information for over 50 years as a broker in the financial industry. He doesn't get paid one dime. And those of you that feel that he's out here trying to manipulate the facts, let's take a good hard look. Where's the money at? Mr. Chapman's not in it for money. He's not in it for glory. He doesn't need it. He's already over retirement age, 10 years plus. There's no personal gratitude for Bob Chapman to be out here. He's not being paid a dime. He's not living in the United States of America. Those of you that took the time or have taken the time to go to my website, there are 3 links there posted permanently for you to go look and listen to Bob Chapman on Coast to Coast with George Norrie last weekend. It's unedited. It's edited out as far as commercials, but it's unedited for its content. There's no commercials in there because Ron Larson, a physicist, down in Texas, recorded that information, took the time with the equipment that he had, and put together a very, very professional recording and made it available for you to listen and download from a server. And it doesn't cost us a dime for us to give it to you, but we put our blood, sweat, and tears to make sure you guys get the truth out there. So the least you can do is send Mr. Bob Chapman an an email to say, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the advice so I can increase my revenue. Thank you, sir, so I can buy more bullets and protect my family. Thank you, sir, for advising me to take my money out of the bank, the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I personally know one lady out there that had several $100,000 tied up in a bank, and we, friends, personal friends of mine, have constantly been on her for years to get her money out of that bank. And she finally, after 4 years, wakes up and sends an email to me advising me, look at this, look at this, look at this. They've got the power to go in and take my money. Mr. Bob Chapman said it 4 years ago on November the
Invalid
17th
option.
on American Voice Radio, the 5th show he did with me, or 8th show he did with me, the 8th show he did with me, advising you to take your money out of the bank and put it in a wall safe, put it in a safe. Go down and buy you a big safe so you can put your guns in it. The thieves aren't going to walk away with a 5,000-pound or a 3,000-pound safe that you got in the closet. Got news for you. Anchor it to the floor. They're not going to waste their time. Now, you think you're going to get killed because you've got a safe in your house and the thieves aren't going to break in or are going to break in and steal it? I got news for you. That's why you got a boomer. And you take the boomer out and you let them know that you've got the microchip. The Marine Corps microchip, a.k.a. a 308 or a 5.56. Arm yourself with knowledge. Mr. Bob Chapman is the owner and editor and researcher for the internationalforecaster.com. You can get in touch with him from my website if you don't have a pen and paper. You're driving down the road listening to this service off the phone bridges. The 800 number is posted there. He will give it out during the show, so get your pens out. Get ready because Mr. Bob Chapman is here from somewhere in South America with his beautiful wife, trying to live his life out in peace and prosperity. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chapman.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here again, and thank you for being so kind as to give me all those accolades. But we just want to get down to business and help people. That's why we have the call-ins and the instant messages, so please use them. And I'll try to answer any questions you have, and if I don't know, I'll tell you so. Because there's a big secret out there, and that is that I don't know everything.
Isn't that the truth? And here's another thing for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to call in, you can call into this show worldwide. 01 is the USA long-distance code. The area code in the United States is 347-308-8047. I repeat, area code in the United States, 347-308-8047. The lines are open. I got 20 phone lines, guys, and I've only used them twice since I've been doing this show, and on both occasions, the four lines were locked up with Mr. Bob Chapman. So the least you can do is call in. Now, guys, I know it's difficult. And some of you out there can't call in because where you're located, but girls, I see you're online out there, Betty's Brigade. So why don't you guys pick up the phone? Don't be so timid. Mr. Chapman's going to be nice to you just because you're a lady. Don't be afraid. It's not that hard. And Mr. Chapman is here with good information. And the first question that I have for Mr. Chapman comes off of the data that is showing that there is a jobless. The jobless recording data shows that this nation's recovery is in doubt, and yet in other articles. They're saying that, the recession is not so bad. What's your impression with all of this BS in the news media?
Well, I think you've got to wait for the monthly figures again. And this rumor is floating around Washington that they're going to redo the figures for the first 7 months of the year, which means they're going to lie even further about them. That's my guess. I mean, if they told us the truth, I'd be absolutely shocked. But what's going on is, in order to make the bottom line look good for corporations and get those earnings and profits for the shareholders and the stock market, companies are laying people off. Usually, in most industries, about 70% of total cost is payroll. So the easiest way for business to cut costs is cut the worker. And very often, in a situation like this, which is the worst since the 1930s,